morning, everyone! We are live with episode 9 of Miami Bite, our Hunter the Vigil game, based in the World of Darkness TTRPG series. Probably one of the least known ones. I would say, definitely one that hasn't had a facelift in a while. Especially when you considering how many, Masquerade players are happening in the world right now. Which I'm having a great time, so we're good. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and let us all go around and introduce ourselves and our characters and our characters' feelings and all of that good stuff. And we'll start with Theater Nerd.
Hi, my name is Theater Nerd. You can find me everywhere at Theater Nerd 221. Today I'm playing JD. Those are the words that you were asking me to say.
Yes.
Our spunky 18-year-old Spitfire who might also be Wolverine now? Question
mark? Nice. Cool.
Just did that until...
Yeah, cool. Next we have Jeremy.
I'm playing... Oh, I'm gonna change my Zoom name. I'm playing Sam Walters. He's a ex-baseball player, and he is now a park ranger, and he's gotten tied up with some of his barfly friends in some supernatural hoopla, and feels a little responsible for these younger gentlemen /
humans.
Non-binaries.
There we go. And we have our storyteller today.
Hello, Slovo here. I'm your storyteller for today's session. I apologize for the noise. There's the house about less than 10 feet that way that they're currently tearing down, which is pleasant, but do the best we can.
To be fair, I have not heard it in my headset yet, so I think the MacBook mic is doing its job. And hello everyone, I am Val. Today I am playing Ben. He is an almost Catholic priest who became a bartender. He is our scholar of the group. He has his degrees, he just hasn't used them ever, as you do with a theology degree from seminary. So, and he's also experiencing some new weird buzzing noises in his ear whenever a certain radio device is turned on. So, there's that. But yeah, as a reminder, you guys, this is a viewer-affected game. You can affect this game with your bits, subs, donations, and Extra Life donations, because all donations to Extra Life will also count to the rewards for the entire month. With your biddies or $1 donation, you can give a reroll dice to any of us, including the Dungeon Master, Storyteller, the Storyteller, with your 200 bits or $2 subs, or with the subscription or a $2 donation. You can give a minor complication or compassion, and then the $300 donations, a major complication or compassion, and then with $5 you can give a minor plot hook, and then with a $10 donation you can give a vice or a virtue to a character. So, without further ado, Nick, take us away.
Alright, well, from the last session, you guys were successful in tracking down the mage and using the technology and tactics granted to you. You set a sort of ambush for him. It didn't go exactly the way you had planned. You had the thought to try and talk him out of leaving the city. Unfortunately, your trigger-happy companion made that a little bit more difficult, and you were forced to escalate things rather quickly and successfully managed to stop this mage before he blew up another part of the city. Somewhat fortunately for you guys, though, it was quite beneficial in terms of reward from the vampires and reward from the Shiren group for that's
She's being a cat.
I heard a little screechy scratch.
well, she's trying to figure out what's going on inside. Yeah, there's lots of noise. Watch her jump across the thing in a second.
There it is.
You're
I didn't know you could tell the future.
very distracting, really. Sorry. Yes. So you were given some benefits from the Shiren group as well, including access to their trauma technology, which a few of you took advantage of. After a few weeks of recovery from the minor to major surgeries that some of you had, you guys have been enjoying this bit of peace and quiet and recovery time. The city has been relatively quiet, at least for Miami. Nothing has really picked up on your supernatural radar. You've got no summons from the vampires. You haven't heard anything from your old hunter buddy that he sent you, I guess, he sent you like a postcard, because apparently that was like the safest way for him to get in touch. You're not sure, it was weird. He sent you like a postcard from Appalachia, even though he says he's still living in Florida. Yeah, weird guy. It kind of just, you fall back into your normal rituals. I guess we'll start this off with you guys in the bar, because...
The bar or the safe house?
The bar, because you haven't had cause to go back to the safe house. Everything's been relatively quiet for a while. JD and Sam, or not, sorry, yeah. Ben. JD and Ben, you both are probably working at the bar right now. Sam, you're probably at work at the park.
Yeah. I imagine it'd probably be a little bit of a relief after all the craziness that we've been through.
Oh yeah, it's
going
nice.
back to normal.
Yes, things are normal. Things are quiet. Things are good.
I feel like as things remain quiet, JD is like, something's gonna pop off. Like, they may not say it out loud, but they definitely have that thought in their head.
Definitely notice your antsiness. By the way, Ben has been working out, so he's lost about 15 pounds. Some of that gut has Ben is fat, guys, and he's still fat, but he's just not as fat. So he's been working out. Like, he's had some trouble, kind of keeping up with the more athletic people of this group, fighting mages and monsters and all kinds of things, and kind of figured that maybe hitting the gym was not a bad idea. And and it's noticeable. How's Jolene doing, by the way, Nick?
Yeah, it's probably something we should talk about.
Jolene's doing better. You think she's not crying all the time, except now she's acting like she's like 22 and become a woohoo girl. And just trying to hit on all the younger guys who come to the bar. You're not sure how it kind of makes you wish you were back out there hunting monsters.
That is seriously image.
I could, like, as I'm like cleaning a glass, because I'm assuming, like, as greasy as like the bar is, like, I'm assuming since what's his face has died, maybe there's a little less bikers and it's a little less greasy in this bar as well. No, it's still just as greasy as fuck. Then I'm just rinsing out the glasses with, like, plain water and putting them to the side for later.
Yeah.
Like, but just that whole thing, it's like, So,
Can I ask you a question? Are the claws like cat? So they're retractable. So are they like cat claws and they come out the tip of my fingers? Are they coming out of the knuckles? Like where? Just so I have an imagination of how this works. Is it like Wolverine?
That's your call, man. You can have either like
Okay.
retractable cat claws, or you can have basically like not quite full Wolverine, but they're like
I want them to come out of like the last knuckles.
yeah, like it'd probably just be something where it's like if you like go forward a little bit, they kind of like come out like little hooks, almost like a knuckle duster.
I feel like what Ben probably notices is JD is doing a lot of like running their tongue across their teeth, as well as like, oh look, claws, no claws, but like trying to do it inconspicuously, and I doubt they're succeeding.
yeah, there's gonna be like a moment where like I'm just kind of leaning against the bar, arms across my chest, avoiding the looks of this drag queen that has a crush on me, and looking at JD and be like, yo, like, people are staring
Well,
at you.
but I'm pretty sure the drag queen is looking at you.
Oh no, she's definitely looking at me. But I'm just saying, like, other people are looking at you.
Oh.
You might, if you're gonna do that, could you at least, like, go to the bathroom or the office or outside? Because like, we have enough bar fights here as it is. So
Oh, perfect. So when do I get to upgrade to bouncer?
No. Because being a bouncer is all about not what you can actually do, but what people imagine you can do by
Also,
looking
your
at
bouncer
you.
is like some like 6'8", like 400-pound Samoan dude named Frank.
His
Not
name
Frank.
is Frank too?
No, his name's Sam. Sorry.
His name's Sam too?
Yeah, his name is Sam too.
His name is Sam.
like-
His name is Samuel, and so
Everyone just calls him Sam, and
Mhm.
he's literally bigger than me. He has to like go in through the door sideways.
so there's Ranger Sam and Samoan Sam, is what you're saying? Okay.
Yes.
Ranger Sam, he's sitting at the bar flipping through some very old looking, like it's almost like a journal, looking book, and he's kind of sipping on his drink or his beer as he's reading, and kind of like looks up every now and then and kind of, takes note of what you two are talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you guys would like to make me a quick roll, just a straight, roll me either straight intelligence or wits.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I don't have a clue.
I have to get my D10s out.
Not 22 D10.
Busting out the
I only
clues.
Well, I got 3 successes.
Nice.
So only having 2 dice. So
Ah,
Yeah, I
Nice.
4 dice.
This I feel like this always happens to me. Oh.
you'd be so interested by whatever's going on in the store.
Intelligence is 4.
They're building a
Ooh.
giant cat house.
Ooh, a
Cat
cat
tower.
tree.
A cat
I have 1 success.
One
Mhm,
success.
mhm.
Okay, so that means JD and Ben, you both notice on the TV, whatever your local news channel comes up with like a special alert, and you kind of just like almost just like whiplash as you like look over there, and he kind of one of you probably just grabs a remote and turns it up a little bit.
Yeah.
It's the TV behind the bar.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Mhm.
It's hi, this is K2JW Miami News with a special report. It's like the 3rd victim in the rash of gangland killings has been found today, in an alley in downtown Miami. The subject was not able to be identified except from dental records. Police are still investigating, but the horrific manner of this assault suggests that there is some sort of brewing turf war happening between two rival factions. More on this story as it develops.
Being in tune to the street, like, did I hear of any other gang killing,
Like,
or shootings, or
just roll me a streetwise and presence.
Was Streetwise a skill in 4th edition? No, nobody played 4th edition except for me.
I played 4th.
Yeah, I
One
think it was.
success. So, you've heard of some messed up killings, like it almost someone was saying it was like a Mexican cartel was like bringing some down south gangland style killings up here because their bodies got real messed up, like real messed up. That's the kind of thing only like what the Mexican cartels would do, where they would like, you know, rip someone's chest open and like tear out their heart, or just like take somebody's whole face off and like string them over a street lamp.
it was graphic and they made it public?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is, it's like the Mexicans don't really operate too much here, which is weird. So they might be muscling in on the Colombians.
Cubans? Colombians. Okay.
Not Cubans.
Puerto Ricans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think JD's head is now like, how does this tie into the occult? Like, what do we have to deal with now? Like, not... Because I think to them, to some extent, gang fighting, gang shootings are things that happen. Like,
Yeah.
they're a fact of life. But now they have this, like, extra level added onto their life. And it's like, how do these things relate to this?
But Ben, you definitely get like as you're listening to this report, you get that little like tinnitus ring in your ears, and the hairs on the back of your neck stand up for a minute before it goes away.
Okay. Like as soon as I like feel that you guys, and it's not subtle, even like there's almost like this, you know how like whenever you like just suddenly get like in Louisiana we called it the frissons, where you get like this chill and it just makes everything stand up, but you also kind of jolt a little bit because it happens so quickly. Like if you're paying any attention to Ben, you just kind of notice that little jolt on his end, and he kind of shakes it off.
Goosebumps?
Yes.
Yeah, goosebumps, the frissons.
The frissons.
Around here we call them goosebumps.
Yeah, well...
Down here in Georgia.
Whatever. I was like, what?
Man, listen, I'm not a redneck, alright? So let's go. It's the frissons. Like...
the chill you get in your, like, spot, like, when you get chills down your spine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
The goosebumps, chills down your spine.
But like, there's an actual physical reaction from Ben that is
willies,
noticeable,
you know,
is
whatever
what
you
I'm
wanna
saying.
call 'em.
Yeah.
If I noticed that, you know, I'd be like, you all right there, Ben?
That, yeah, at least nothing that I'll talk to you about it in private later, but yeah. Sure, that's just, and I just point at the TV,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
they're acting weird.
I'm just gonna pretty much point up at the TV, and I'd be like, that's a job. And I'm assuming that you would understand what I mean by that.
Yeah. Yeah, I would look and take note of the location. Where did it happen?
The last one happened right in downtown, in kind of a seedier area.
Okay. Yeah, just take note of it, the crime, and the news report. And maybe I saw my number now. I was thinking ahead.
You guys get like a group message from sorry, no brain cells.
0.
Not 2.
One of the
Eric, from Eric, yeah.
Eric,
Oh.
he's not mysterious.
Like there's an audible sigh, like.
And it's real sloppy because he probably still can't see right.
Uh-huh.
And it's just like he's like, "Yo, dudes, you need to go check out this thing. It's all messed up. Definitely not gangs." He's like, "Can't come. Chained to desk."
I
Wonder if he's literally chained to a desk right now.
That's
Be one of
the
those
image
weird
in
kinks.
JD's head, that's for sure.
there's a moment of like Ben going, chained to desk. like,
It's like, what are you at the vampire's place?
that's what I'm going to respond with. It's like, oh, you're socializing with the vampires lately?
He's like, no, that's later, lol.
That's all kink shame, Eric.
Let's all kink shame Merrick right now.
Be right back. I'm gonna
Not
grab some
even
more
here.
coffee.
Okay.
Here to defend himself, guys.
I mean, he was going in for surgery. Like, we had our surgeries earlier. It was his turn.
Yeah, and he got stuff done on his eye, so he still has to wear like.
Yeah.
He still gotta wear the grandpa glasses, like the huge wraparound ones.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I'm wondering how he. Not that I really care, but can you imagine the conversation he had to have with his superior off his superiors?
I mean, maybe he just told him he's getting LASIK.
Yeah,
Mm.
probably what he told him.
I mean, he's old, so his eyes are probably getting bad anyway.
I don't know. That was a pretty good shot.
Yeah, but they don't know that.
Oh,
I'm giving I'm telling the not factual story that he would possibly give, like, for them to believe why he needs an eye surgery.
Or they didn't believe him and they chained him to a desk.
That is true. I mean, what is going on at the Miami Police Department?
I mean, I think he's just got a lot of paperwork, is what that means.
Yeah, I figured.
Or because he can't see shit, they probably just have him stuck on a desk. You're like,
Oh, that's
you can't go out
Yeah.
there because you're half blind and you might end up shooting some random kid. And that would be bad for all of us.
yep.
So I assume at this point, though I haven't, like, obviously we haven't told Jolene what we do, but I would have informed Jolene that I have started freelancing, and I'm going to leave it vague as that, and sometime my freelance work might need me to not work at the bar and
freelance bartender.
no, I'm a bartender full time, but I have freelance work elsewhere that I would rather not talk about, Jolene. But it does mean that I'm going to need people to cover. So what I will do, as I'm assuming Jolene is woohooing, because she is now a woohoo girl, but I'm assuming it sounds more like woohoo, like because of all the chain smoking she does.
A little bit.
To lubricate the vocal cords, like. Never mind. Anyway.
Yeah.
Did you get JD a cover as well about their?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna say that we've both taken freelance work, and volunteering at homeless shelters and stuff like that, and I'm gonna essentially inform her after tonight. We will not be in as often because the freelancing is demanding our time for the week.
Wow, that's a way better explanation than I would have ever given. Be like, what's JD busy with? Drugs?
I don't know, drugs.
Alright.
Volunteering at the JD's volunteering.
JD's volunteering at the homeless shelter in the soup kitchen.
Yeah.
I have you guys like picking up litter at the wildlife park.
Okay. It's like, Jolene's like, what are you, running for public office?
You watch your mouth. You just wait and see.
I'll vote for Sam Walters.
I was talking about me, but okay.
You're not old.
Sam Walters will endorse your.
Sam Walters. I just imagine you doing like a Sam Elliott voiceover for JD's election campaign.
City council, baby. I'm gonna be on the council.
Never thought about it, but yeah, Sam is very Sam Elliott, except for with a darker complexion.
And sometimes that means going over mountains.
Into the swamp.
Okay.
Moving on.
Moving right along before we start getting all into our Sam Elliott voiceovers.
Here are the tracks. Here's our train. Way off.
Yes.
It's early.
So, would you guys like to go and investigate somewhere?
Yeah, I think we would just go check out the scene of the crime. Maybe if there is a multi-story building nearby, like on the street, the same street, like across the street or something. Maybe we could like find a way to where we could get an advantageous view. Maybe I don't know. I'm not very good at lying, so yeah, I'll have to do that.
I am quite good at lying. Like me and JD, I think has got it pretty well. Because I have the manipulation and persuasion pips for sure.
But yeah, I'm not wearing my I'm making a note that I'm just wearing casual clothes. I'm not gonna be going up to the crime scene in my uniform or anything.
Well.
Oh, the house.
Not anymore.
Oh, the house is being. It's like the largest house in the block. So there it goes. Spy house.
It's gone. Like I just looked over and the excavator is just like. Boop. All right.
Oh wow.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah.
There is some science to doing that to buildings, though, so that you can know how it's going to fall. Anyway.
Yeah, I used to do that before.
House, cat, and I'm already normally very distractible. Anyway.
I pull up in the Jeep. Come on! Let's go!
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like going in the Jeep is the better option. My poor car, it doesn't need to overwork itself. The Jeep is appropriate. So
It's a Jeep Cherokee too. It's not a Wrangler. It's a Cherokee.
Yes. I'm gonna take a shot of tequila before I get out. Let's go.
Just being silly.
Yeah.
All right. So.
Freelance.
Eric texts you guys again. Says he's gonna go work on trying to get you guys a copy of the autopsy reports.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe some photos from the last one because they haven't had an autopsy done.
Since I'm not the one driving, I'll like text him back and be like, "Do you want us to come pick them up, or are you gonna send it to us?"
He says he'll email it to you.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty much like before you get down to before you find parking, essentially, you get a couple email attachments from him. There's 3 of the autopsy files and then pictures from the 4th.
Is this part of, or is the crime scene still sectioned off, or has it been kind of reopened, like, cleaned and reopened or whatever?
It's still sectioned off right now because it's not like directly on the main street. It's kind of like in an alley between 2 buildings. So.
Okay.
But you notice that there's like, for unknown reasons, the cops have basically hung like a tarp, almost like as high up as they could put it, to block off view of the entire alley.
That's pretty selfish of them.
And as you do the slow like rubberneck crawl and everyone looks by, you definitely see like one cop like run out of the tarp and just like puke behind the dumpster.
Oof.
It's gonna be pretty bad in there.
Alright. What's the plan, gang? How are we gonna get behind this?
If you tell them you're a family member, and you want here to identify the body.
You know what? That's not a bad idea. I'm gonna look through the file, anything that Eric gave me that might have indicated like maybe like, you know what? I'm not even gonna look through that. I'm just gonna ask. I'm just gonna pretend like I'm looking for a missing person and that I'm worried about them. That it could be them.
Yep.
Does he have any? I will text Eric and ask if there's any indication of, like, any information on the current victim at this crime scene.
He texts you back. It's like still waiting on dental. If you look at the pictures,
Pictures are there.
face and fingerprints aren't gonna be usable.
Yeah. But it's just more if something to be vague. It'd be like, I'm looking for my brother or my dad or my sister, that kind of
If we're
stuff.
looking at these pictures,
Yeah.
what is the shape? What is condition is this cadaver?
Okay, so the body itself has like huge chunks of flesh missing from all the limbs. The hands have actually been like ripped off, not chopped off, but ripped off.
The hands?
It was Chewbacca. Case
Hands.
closed. Sorry.
There's no face. There's still a head. There's no face. And I don't know if you guys know what the blood eagle is.
Is that the Viking thing where the ribs? No,
Yeah.
that's different. Oh, it is. Okay.
They're placed into a prone position. The ribs are like separated from the spine and ripped open, and then the lungs are pulled out.
So now that we know all that, my immediate thought is, I would like to attempt to, kind of rack my brain and see if this correlates with any kind of occult rituals or things that I'm familiar with. Like, was this part of like a process, or was it more of just like a crime of passion or a punishment kind of thing?
All right, absolutely. You can make me your occult plus intelligence roll for that.
Could I also possibly make the said roll to help him out?
You can absolutely help him out, and that
Okay.
would give you a. If you do that, that'll give you a +3 on your roll.
Okay. Because I'm also intelligence occult, so I want to give him.
If you guys want to sit back and be like, what is this?
Yeah, talking.
So, are you rolling 2, or am I just adding 3?
You're adding 3.
You're rolling at a +3 advantage.
So that's gonna be. All right. Here goes nothing.
9. At least 1. Oh, shit. Heck yeah!
All right. Okay, so you know that historically the blood eagle only has 2 mentions in Norse mythology. So it's not exactly a common form. In fact, no one's ever found like any actual records, physical records of it ever being done. It's kind of more of a legend of the oh, this is like the worst thing you can possibly do to someone, blah blah blah. Traditionally, though, it is a revenge punishment for someone who has murdered a father. Whether that's their own father or somebody else's father is not quite sure. But there's also something about how, making the eagle is supposed to give honor to Odin.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all very creepy and unnerving. Don't like Odin. I will just relay this information. Obviously, we're talking because you're helping me. So.
Yeah.
Janie's probably just sitting in the back seat, like, hold out their phone. Cool guys, like.
Is
oh,
pardon me.
No, you're fine.
So I was just wondering about is this person missing an eyeball? Do they have both their eyeballs?
funny you should mention that. They are missing an eye.
Okay. Missing an eye. Just some. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about Odin. I just know he's missing an eye. So this is obviously some very Norse-related symbolism.
Yeah. You know that both of the mentions in Norse history, both of the victims were noblemen, and both of the executions were retaliation for the murder of the father.
Okay.
Coming from my background, could I make any sort of roll to just remember or recall if there might have been any mention while in seminary of Norse cults in the Florida area?
You can make a roll for that. I'll
Mhm.
let you know that because of your help with them. You know that the Blood Eagle mirrors a lot of Christian martyrdom tracks.
Yeah.
Like the tortures of Saint Sebastian
Mhm.
and certain other ones.
Yep.
Some of them are pretty exaggerated, but this one is just
Yeah.
it's done. You know that this was done for two reasons. One was to send a message, and the other one was obviously ritualistic.
Right. My role is definitely for if I know anyone that has talked about a Norse cult in this town.
Yeah.
What would I roll?
Also, JD could potentially search like Facebook or social media to see if they can find any like pagan groups in the area that are suspicious. Not saying all pagans are suspicious, but
You'd have to roll a socialize for that,
Socialize? Okay.
and then either if you're trying to remember, socialize and intelligence, and
Okay.
Jenny, if you are trying to search them out, that would be presence and socialize.
I think they were suggesting for JD to do it that role though.
I don't think I would use online sources. I think I would take to the street
there you go.
to.
I mean,
wanna get-
whatever you would do, yeah.
Yeah, if you want
You
to.
just said you were texting, so I was like, that was just not me.
Oh, I was just on my phone. I guess if you're relaying this information, once we check out this crime scene, I think I'd be more apt to take to the street.
That
Yeah,
is.
you don't have to actually like physically be on the street, but if you talk to your contacts on the street, like people you know, it's a difference between like going street level, going social level, and then going upper level, right? In terms of how you're getting your information.
Right.
If you
Oh,
look
yeah. Okay. I think I still would talk to my contacts.
Mhm.
I don't know how many of them that they know on the streets would have a mean of communication other than face to face.
Yeah.
Nick, I rolled 7 successes.
Okay. So.
I rolled a lot of 10s.
But maybe I don't need to now.
Okay, so there aren't like when you say Norse cult,
Mm-hmm.
do you mean like any sort of traditional Norse pagan worshipping of their pantheon?
Either like traditional worshipping of it or even non-traditional worships.
Okay,
Traditional
So-
or non-traditional, just
Yeah.
whichever.
so there is not really a lot of Nordic, Scandinavian immigrants to this part of the country.
Who
Right.
knew?
Yeah, what a shock! They don't like
Mhm.
tropical weather. Other than that, you're not really able to find much else other than your typical
With
white
7?
supremacy. like white
Okay.
supremacists co-opting the whole, Viking runes, that sort of nonsense.
Yeah, well, I mean that is something, right?
Yeah.
You know.
But like really, you don't know much, or you can't find anything much about like actual cults out here.
Yeah.
There's not a huge subsect of people who would be into that in any case. If there is, it's like 6 people who know each other really well and they don't talk about it except in person.
That was something very particular that I was kind of hoping to get, was that maybe I knew one of these people.
No.
Okay. Okay, well, I will relay that. It was like the only people that I know in this town that are like obsessed with some Norse mythology into an extreme extent, or is some skinheads.
Yeah, there's some people who live out in the swamp who have an
Yeah.
unhealthy fascination with keeping the race pure, and they're all about that Nordic thing, even though they're...
So we can't rule out hate crime.
Yeah.
But
I mean...
And I mean...
This could be an affluent politician or something. Like, this person could be, like, just because they're found in this alleyway, I feel like that's a misleading, it's meant to mislead. I think that this could potentially be a politician or
Do we know
upper class.
So I know we have a picture. What color is the person's skin?
He's Caucasian.
He's Caucasian. I mean, that doesn't mean that he's pure.
Well, that also
Gotta be pure.
doesn't mean that this wasn't the group offing one of their members.
Yeah, it's true. That being said, knowing what we know as, you could have had people that just went into this not realizing they could have been connected to something, and all of a sudden something started. Like, it's a lead we could look at.
Nick, we focused a lot on the body. Is the crime scene itself have any indicators of a struggle? Was the body transported here? Were they killed here? Was it and then another question would be, were there any like blood trails, blood splatters, or like any kind of symbolism that was not directly like on the body? It was like in that area.
So you can figure that out as soon as you roll me a wits plus investigation roll as you study the crime scene photos.
Don't you wish that Eric was here?
If only you had someone who's dedicated to investigating crime scenes.
Alright.
Anyone else who'd like to make that same roll is welcome to.
No, because I get a -3 when I'm on, because I'm not skilled in investigation.
I get 2 dice, and after my last 2 dice roll, I am...
Go ahead and roll, because I'm only rolling
no.
1 die.
It's wits and investigation. I lied, it's 3 dice.
Yeah, you should definitely be rolling.
By the way, wits, if you're rolling on 1, that's where you can get a dramatic failure. But that doesn't count as a dramatic failure.
Okay, well, good.
If you are rolling a singular dice and it rolls on a 1.
I thought it was if you had a negative dice pool and then rolled 1 dice, that's when you got the critical fail.
A negative dice pool just means you're rolling on a 1. Like you roll a single dice. If you are only rolling a single dice, it still counts as a...
I guess there's no other way to have a single dice other than to have it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, because you would always have 2 if you're combining a skill and an attribute.
Yes. I can't... Brain power is limited.
Not everybody's a game designer. It's okay.
No, I guess I was thinking technically you could have 4... Oh, but I guess I was thinking technically you could have 4 pips in like wits, but have none in investigation, and then that's still a 1 dice pool.
Yep.
Right, but you should still crit fail on that because it's a 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
Okay, so With the success, you were able to determine that, judging by the amount of blood that is all over the alley. When I say all over, I mean
Splatter.
it's all over. There's a significant pool under the body, but there's definitely the murder happened there. And as for an evidence of struggle, there is a large human-sized dent in one of the alley dumpsters. There are chunks missing out of the sides of the walls there.
Okay.
Can I try to figure out if I think it would be reasonable for a human to have caused this? Like, what the likelihood of that is? You know what I'm trying to, like, trying to determine if it's a supernatural being that did this, or could a mere human do it?
Okay, so if you guys want to try and figure out if it's possible for a human to do it, or what type of monster could do it, if you're rolling monster, roll me intelligence plus occult. If you're rolling for human, that's intelligence plus medicine.
Okay.
I got 2.
Love the way you think, Nick. I was thinking the exact same thing.
I have 2 dice in intelligence and medicine.
There you go.
JD's not entirely worthless today.
But yeah, I am gonna let you guys do that.
Okay.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, and then I have occult 5, 6, 7. I have 7 dice in intelligence occult, so I'll do the monster and you'll do the human.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what I already rolled 3 times.
Oh, okay.
So
Nice.
Nice, very nice.
On 2 dice, it's odd how that math works out. But...
Okay, so I already rolled, so there's already 2 successes because they're 10s, so I'm gonna re-roll them. 2 successes.
Cool. Alright, so in terms of it being able to be done by a human, yes, you think it is possible, but unlikely. Because unless you had someone like Sam the Samoan, or, you know, The Rock, like, they'd have to be a really big guy to do that kind of damage.
World's strongest man strength.
Yeah, you'd have to have some absolute unit.
Kind of what I was thinking.
Because to make that kind of denting with another person into the dumpster, you think you have to like pick him up and hammer throw him into it.
Okay.
And as for the chunks missing out from the concrete walls, yeah, that could probably happen if he had like a sledgehammer or something with him while he was attacking this dude. And yes, if he had like a machete or a knife or something, he could have done the blood eagle. And you guess maybe if he had hacked a little bit, he could have ripped off the hands and stuff. But
yeah.
not looking likely. Theoretically, if there was 2 of them, 2 really big guys, even more likely. But yeah, you're putting this one on possible but unlikely for human. And on the occult side, in terms of what could have done this, something with a lot of strength. So
yes.
Possibly a slasher, possibly like a supernatural spirit. Some Jason Voorhees motherfucker, possibly. That's not very likely. A vampire could have done this quite easily. But they don't like to leave things so public. So again, you're putting that into the possible yet unlikely.
So, knowing that, concluding that it's most likely a monster, can I make a roll on what I would possibly know on Norse mythology?
Yes.
That in that mythology level could do something like this, or the possibility of doing something like this?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I have out of character ideas.
I do too, that's why I'm asking. So what would I roll for that then?
That's for that.
I'm the well-studied one, so
I would have to say that's definitely occult plus intelligence.
so another 7 dice. This is
What's
I
your intelligence? 5, 4, 5?
4. Yeah. I was gonna be the scholar of the group. That was like, I'm essentially your wizard. Okay, 1,
Nerd.
2, 3,
All nerds, I'm leaving.
4 successes.
Hey. It's Fenrir. We're fighting Fenrir.
So, you know, you're reminded of a little short story by the name of Beowulf.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, there's 3 antagonists in there.
Yeah.
There was a dragon,
Yeah.
and the one that most people remember is Grendel, Grendel's mother.
Yeah.
But you remember, the whole thing about Grendel was like, there's a lot of different sort of versions of him.
Yeah.
He's, because, you know, some of Christian mythology got mixed in there too, Anglo-Saxon.
Yeah.
And there's just a lot of different retellings. He's like a descendant of Cain. He's a creature of darkness, exiled from humanity and
His
happiness.
mother is a she-wolf.
His mother is a she-wolf. He's usually depicted as some sort of giant monster, covered in fur, with claws and fangs. Who,
I kind of like stop and I'm like just my aunt's stuff is going, like my scholarly, my nerdness is happening, and I stop and I look and I be like, yo, you think this is a werewolf?
That would be absurd and out of the question.
Hold on, no. Like,
can we just rewind for a second? You were the man who, not mere weeks ago,
Oh, I was being sarcastic.
didn't believe in werewolves, and now there's something with superhuman strength, or supernatural strength, and all of a sudden, it's possible that werewolves actually exist.
I mean, if vampires exist, werewolves clearly exist.
That's what was my argument 2 weeks ago!
Yes, well, a lot has changed in 2 weeks, JD.
It only took Ben 2 weeks to realize how right you were, JD.
Listen, it's not
Okay,
that I
fair
didn't,
point, Tim.
listen, it's not that I didn't believe that these things existed. I just didn't want to believe that they existed.
Well, we're not, like, let's not put all our eggs in one basket.
True,
so,
true,
like,
true.
I think that our next step, not that I'm ready to, like, whenever you guys are ready to move forward,
Yeah.
would be to wait until we get lab results back from Eric, and then if there are any DNA samples that don't belong to the victim, that would be, like, our first lead. So, I mean, if a werewolf's punching a wall, there's probably a likelihood of there being, like, fibers or fur left behind.
You're assuming that they actually turn into dogs.
But, like, right, yeah, like, I'm assuming a lot here, but
We're assuming a lot, but yeah.
but if, you know, if a creature is damaging a wall, like punching or hitting a wall with their body, I would imagine that would leave some kind of DNA behind, unless they are just, like, purely physically, like, immune to any kind of normal damage or whatever, where, like, even their skin cells don't decay like normal.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really getting technical here, but this is feeling very investigation-y, and I like it.
Yeah. The thing is, guys, I'm not, you know, this is out of character. The thing is, guys, is that, like, this is clearly has Norse undertones to it, and just sort of putting together the information we know about how our world exists now, and how we should also be looking into the background of this. Skinwalkers, a form of skinwalkers, is a very common thing amongst Nordic people.
What? A skinwalker?
What if-
What's that?
Like, like, you know, people who can, like, essentially, like, it's, like, it happened a lot in, like, Nordic Europe a lot, and it's, like, where a lot of the werewolf mythology originally came from, but there's also the ones, like, the native versions as well, like, the indigenous Americans had, like, their own versions of it, in the forms of, like, wendigos and things, but essentially, I believe in, like, Nordic mythology, they would wear, like, the pelt of an animal, like, they would wear, like, the pelt of a wolf, or the pelt of a bear, and it would transform them. Like, that is, like, Norse thing. If I, like, correct me, Norse mythology people, if I'm not correct on this, but from what I personally remember as some of this stuff, like, this is a thing that happens, yeah.
Celtic mythology
Yeah.
kind of stuff. But I don't know a whole lot about it, but I think that's really interesting.
Yeah.
What if the Norse is to throw us on the trail of one thing when it's completely another thing?
You're very close on that. Well, the whole screen off thing except for the native thing. The Norse didn't really have that because they're less on the totemistic.
Yeah, but there was like a very, like, Arctic Circle Scandinavian, like, shape-changing legends that were similar to that.
It was it was more just some warriors when they drank the right potion and they chanted the right songs and they wore like a wolf pelt or a bear pelt, they would be granted the strength of the gods.
That's where I was going with it next, is the berserker type legends.
Yes, that's definitely where my mindset was at, was the berserker legend thing.
I mean, we've got a lot to take in.
So you want to talk to some white supremacists?
I never want to talk to white supremacists. This is always the answer.
I would like to point out that Ben does look very Nordic. Like, he has the red, like...
I will point out that Sam
does
is
not.
Hispanic
Exactly.
And, is not.
Yes. So if we wanted to infiltrate the white supremacists...
Sam's gonna hang out at the bar while you guys talk to the skinheads.
I mean, JD...
Bye.
JD
Yeah.
is like, on one hand, I really don't want you to do this.
Yeah.
On the other hand, you know that I wouldn't let you do this alone if that's what you really want to do.
I mean, I'll be the driver, you know, I'll sit in the car.
I really guess you really don't think a bunch of dumbass rednecks are behind this.
Okay.
It's not,
It's a lead that we have right now.
It's really... That's like...
Well, why don't we just wait for some DNA then?
Yeah, that's true.
The tests.
It seems
Essential.
really far-fetched
Okay.
that, like, a couple inbred hicks who are desperately...
But they might know somebody. That was kind of more, like they,
they know is their cousins and intimately.
They know where the shine's hidden.
I shouldn't be laughing at this.
It's fine to laugh at white supremacists. No
yeah,
shame
absolutely.
in
There's
it.
no shame in it. There's no
shame.
shame in
If
it.
there is one
No. I was talking about laughing about the rednecks and never mind.
Okay.
Well, sometimes they go hand in hand. Trust me.
Yeah.
Listen, if there's one
Not
group in
always.
this world that deserves ridicule,
Yes, 100% we agree on that. Anyway, so...
Plenty of progressive rednecks, but not these skinheads.
No.
okay, moving right along. You guys are gonna want to wait for some.
I have to bio. Keep going.
Okay, you guys are gonna wait for some reports. Is there anyone else you wanted to contact?
I will go ahead and contact the union and just kind of put my feelers out there and say, hey, have any of your members turned up missing, or have you heard of this killing downtown, this brutal killing downtown? Kind of just send my contact a text.
Oh yeah. So they replied pretty quickly, saying that they've heard about the killings. No one in their circles been directly involved, but they were investigating one of the victims because they were acting pretty weird
before they died.
before they died.
Okay. Yeah. They're acting weird after they're dead. It's like, oh, that's bad.
Well, I mean, if they're doing any sort of acting after they're dead, that's bad.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, he was just
are
walking
they
around.
at liberty to like share the person's name or occupation or anything?
Yeah. So his name was Sinclair Robinson. He was what did he do? He was like a teller at a bank downtown. He was the second victim, and he had actually just recently been fired from the bank because of behavioral issues. And that's why the union was investigating him, because one of their members was at the bank doing a job in the bank and observed all this happen. Yeah, he was doing a job at the bank and observed all this take place over like a week, and was like, "This is weird. We should maybe take a look at this." And before they had a chance to investigate, he turned up dead.
How many victims do we have a number on victims?
4 with the latest.
Okay, so this was victim 2.
And all of the pictures that we got from Eric, they're all in the Blood Eagle position? Like,
No, that was just, you have the autopsy reports for the first 3.
okay.
And just the photos of the crime scene for the last one.
Okay.
The second victim of 4, this is the 4th one, was named Sinclair Robinson, and he was a downtown bank teller fired for behavior.
Yeah. I was in the kitchen, so I heard that one.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was taking notes.
It's okay. Thanks.
If you look at his autopsy file, the official cause of death for Sinclair was exsanguination.
Which means he strangled on his blood. Or,
No.
no, he was strangled.
No.
He was emptied of blood.
Yes. He died
Oh,
from
bled out.
blood loss. Yes.
Okay.
Although the blood loss, the exsanguination was most likely caused by having his heart ripped out of his chest.
God damn. Pardon my French.
And the coroner goes on to report that it's like most likely 2 or 3 people acted quickly to like open up the rib cage and remove the heart, because subject was technically still alive for 2 to 3 seconds after heart removal.
That's horrific.
It's spelled terrific without horrific. No, you can.
Horrific.
Let's see. Okay.
So that was victim 2. The other injuries in that include fracture, like skull fractures, wrist fractures.
Yeah. Was this one also downtown? This body, the
Yes.
guy that the union was looking into?
This was outside of his. This is behind his apartment building.
Okay.
So, 12 to 18 blocks away from the latest one. In the same, neighborhood, but not really that
18 blocks is a lot of,
This might be a little paranoia on my part, but also I just know a little bit about Odin. Are there any fucking birds watching us?
He's just looking around. I mean, it's like there's pigeons and seagulls, but there's not a lot of crows.
Okay, so the usual rats.
And you definitely do not see a raven, because those things stand out, so don't worry about that.
Okay, good. I mean, that's all right. In that case, I won't mention it or anything. I just
Like,
Well, I don't want to seem crazy.
if there was a raven, I wouldn't make you do like any sort of check from it. I'd be like, you see a goddamn raven.
Yeah.
Ravens are fucking huge.
They're huge.
Yeah.
They're big old boys.
Mhm.
People don't realize that they're about the size of a bald eagle.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're giant.
I mean, I've seen crows, but I don't guess I've ever seen like a real like raven.
Well,
except
and
for in, like,
crows
exhibits.
aren't particularly small birds on the spectrum of bird sizes.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Yeah, ravens are just supersized crows.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's like
Okay,
the difference
so
like the difference between a seagull and a pelican.
Well, the Allfather isn't listening to us, hopefully.
all right, so that was the second victim.
Yeah.
And do we have a location of behind his apartment?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
18 blocks away.
Do we want to go possibly just kind of do a quick scope of some of, if you know, because these crime scenes are less likely to have people at them, with everyone concentrating on this one right now.
Let's do one better. Let's break into his apartment.
You could.
We could.
That
Yeah.
this crime took place about almost a week ago, like 6 days previous. So, you know, the crime scene there is probably not active anymore.
So can I do one other thing? Because JD is also concerned about what they think they might be up against.
Yes.
First off, they're gonna snap a selfie with their fangs out and with the claws, and they're going to send it to Network Zero. Look at my fancy new toys. But secondly, then a follow-up message. So we think we might have to deal with werewolves. Got any tips?
They send back a message. Yeah, don't.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't.
God.
So if not doing it isn't an option, if we have to, what do we need for our best chances of survival?
So they tell you that your best chances for survival are don't go on a full moon, don't go too deep into their territory. Hopefully you find them when they're in human form and they're willing to talk. Otherwise, you're gonna need a big gun.
Ask him if the silver.
I was going to ask silver ?
They're like, not sure. Need to go look into it. Contact later.
Okay.
I feel like JD is like, I just got done talking with Network Zero. I feel like I shook a magic 8-ball.
I'm assuming you kind of relay like your text
Yeah.
message conversation.
Don't go into a full moon. They're not sure about silver. We shouldn't try to hunt them down in their own territory.
Well, first let's make sure we're dealing with this, right?
Well, right. But if we have to, because that's how I framed the question, hopefully we can catch them in human form and negotiate.
So, yeah, because we are so great at negotiating and
No,
talking down
there are
monsters.
Some of us who could have fucking negotiated
I
that.
know. I'm
And we
being
have a loose cannon on our hands.
JD, and I'm rubbing my temple. I'm being facetious.
We just can't let Eric have a gun. That would.
What's the moon cycle?
What about Eric? Not Eric. I'm sorry, JD. Would you mind asking Network Zero about Mercury? Does Mercury work on them?
Can you also look into Mercury? I'm sure this is a ask again later question.
Yeah, we're looking into the lore now.
Yeah, because like Mercury is also known as Quicksilver, so I don't know if it, there could be some like mix up in the terminology over time,
Mm-hmm.
But also, now, granted, I dropped out of school, Isn't mercury highly poisonous to humans?
Absolutely, yeah.
Mercury
but,
is highly poisonous to most living things.
Yeah, I mean, you need. I think like. It's like you can process a certain amount of it, but like if you get excess, it'll fuck you up.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
You would need a lot to hurt you unless you were, just dealing with the
lot of tainted sushi.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm sure they will get back to us when they're ready. But
those secret societies, they do things on their terms.
God forbid I ask questions.
So Nick, since we have had like these resources with the money and stuff, knowing that you can investigate private property, and knowing that we don't always have Eric with us, is there a way with our resources in the downtime that we had possibly have had fake badges made?
I have a badge, right?
Yeah,
Maybe.
you have a badge.
I have a
And,
badge.
like, you and I can actually, like, probably pull off, like, the whole, like, we're actually important investigative people. And JD's our photographer.
My badge is, like, super limited. Like, it doesn't get me everywhere.
Exactly. But, I mean, if you're traveling with, let's say, an FBI agent or a state trooper...
Impersonating a federal agent is, like, a huge deal.
Yes, it is.
That's kind of a really big crime.
I know it is, but we're also fighting monsters.
Right, I understand. Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool. I'm not opposed to the idea at all.
I mean,
risks
if
are
you
there.
wanted to, yes, you could absolutely have a fake badge created of your
Okay.
You-
I think possibly the one that I would have had made. Let's roll for it, Nick. Like, what federal agency was I able to get between, like, State Trooper, FBI, Homeland Security?
Okay, give me 1
like,
second.
yeah.
I just need to find my scrap.
You're a parole officer. Congratulations.
I mean, it could, like, the thing is, it's like just having something that imposes authority works on the average person.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah. That's what I mean. Like
Yeah.
my badge could like, I'd probably like flash it real quick at some, nobody and be like, yeah, let me in. I got a warrant, maybe. Have you ever seen a warrant? You know what a warrant looks like? All right,
Exactly.
I got a warrant.
Like, you just kind of have to hold up the paper. Like,
What's the... Sorry, I'm just trying to remember.
Yeah, we're just nonsensing over
Yeah.
here while you look up your notes.
yeah. Like,
But-
I'm not gonna lie, all of this just comes by with the fact that I watch a lot of fucking Supernatural. Like, and you know what? Ben watches Supernatural. We're just gonna say it.
I've been taking a break from being a dungeon master, and it's definitely helped me enjoy playing as a player a lot more.
Alright, roll. I've got a couple in here. Roll me for a d6.
Roll a d6. Okay.
Roll a d6.
Hey everyone, we're using my Extra Life D6. Don't forget to donate to Extra Life, and all of my sub points today are being met with donations to Extra Life. So, don't forget. Bam! A 1!
You're part of... you have a DHUD badge.
A DHUD? Department of Housing?
And Development.
Yes! That's dope! For breaking into people's houses, that's perfect. Like, I'm just saying.
You're just like, I'm not really comfortable impersonating a federal police officer. Is there anything,
Yeah.
like are there any other federal agencies that you can get me a part of? They're like, I got you.
Like, so can I put that in my endowments?
Yes.
Okay, what kind of pip? Do I have like one pip in it or whatever?
Yeah, that's a 1 pip.
Yeah, okay, that's perfectly fine. So between like the park ranger and the D-Hut guy, I'm gonna like get out a duffel bag. It's like, okay, before we go to this guy's house and break it in, I'm just gonna go get my... I got some things. Can we just swing by the safe house?
Hold on. Why do we need the badge at all? JD will pull out the magic skeleton key.
Listen, I'm just saying, if there's, like... If we can do it mundanely...
I mean, yeah, it kind of, like, wears me down to use the key, but I would assume any of you could also use the key.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, like, the thing. But if I can just go to the fucking landlord and be like, I'm, like, Department of Housing, I need to investigate this for, like, this crime scene kind of thing.
So, hear me out.
Yeah.
I think we have two options here.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we have two options. I think if somebody still lives in the apartment,
Mm-hmm.
we'll go with your plan, Ben. And if nobody lives in the apartment, I think that we should let JD attempt to open the door with their skills.
Okay.
I also can just pick locks, but that's a whole different story.
I would try that, and then if that doesn't work, then use the skeleton key.
Can I try and get on Facebook and find Sinclair Robinson to see if he has, like, if he was married and had children?
Yeah.
Or if he was married and maybe had children before? I'm trying to go with a cover story.
I'm trying to dox this guy.
Yeah.
I don't want to know.
Like, we're going full Sam and Dean on this bullshit is what's happening. Like, this is
So I'm assuming there's a role.
No. You don't really need to roll for that. That would be like 2-second search, man.
Sinclair Robinson. Okay, what do I find when I find his
Single.
No. Mention of any...
Single, none of the, like... It looks like he hasn't updated it in a while. Like, in a month or two, he hasn't really been on. But, most of the, most of the recent pictures are of him. Just like him doing other stuff, some selfies. He has a cat. Yeah, nothing else.
Okay, so he's single. My whole angle of pretending to be his child might be a little far-fetched, because why would I have a key to his place if he's single?
I mean, my whole thing is just, let's just try and break in without being seen, like, and then if we have to talk to people, then we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Okay. That's fair.
Alright.
Me and Ben will keep watch. You just try and pick that lock. And, if we have the apartment number, that is, I imagine.
Also, was he found dead inside of his apartment or outside of his apartment?
No, behind the apartment building.
Behind the apartment building. So, two things. We should definitely case out where he was murdered and break into his apartment.
Okay. What do you want to do first?
Both can cause, like, a significant level of, like, suspicion if someone is just hanging around. My suggestion is that we can split up. It's like we can have someone looking on the outside and then have somebody else with JD to go inside.
I would say we could split up, but JD is our best investigator at the moment. Right. And I would say that they can't be in two places at once. So.
True. Because are you absolute garbage at investigation?
Oh yeah, I'm terrible.
Okay, me too.
I only have one dot. I only have a pip.
I know. We don't is what we're saying.
I have a single pip as well because you get one by default, but it's like a.
No, you don't. Not for skills.
Well, you get one like as a if you want to like try and roll. It's like kind of like a last ditch.
Yeah. I have 2 in wits, 1 in intelligence, 1 in investigation.
Yes, I have 4 in intelligence and 3 in wits. So even I'm not complete garbage at investigation with the lack of pip, but like
this is not JD's strong suit by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
Well.
So we'll just have to take the chance, I guess, of.
Do we have any idea if there is a back door to the apartment behind the apartment?
There's probably a fire exit.
Well, I was talking like actual back entrance to
We have to go see it.
because hear me out.
Yeah.
JD can just walk back there, do a glance, go inside. Because I can just use the skeleton key and just go inside like I'm supposed to be there.
Well, let's just go. Yeah, let's just head behind the building.
Yeah.
And
I think that's our best bet.
okay. So
All
Nick, we're going behind the building
That's
to check out the where his body was found.
All right. So I mean, at this point, there's not really evidence of the crime scene. It's been like washed out and everything.
Mhm.
If you guys want to look around for clues and stuff, you're gonna have to roll me either wits or intelligence plus investigation.
Okay.
Gotcha.
-3, so I would have a 1, a solid 1, just for my intelligence check in general. Which ended up
Or
a 10.
do we want to do like a helping roll where we're all looking and pointing out things to each other and have one of us make the roll?
No.
Yeah.
That's
I have 1 success, Nick. I rolled a 10, so I got the reroll.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Jam, are you rolling?
I wasn't going to.
Oh, you're
I mean,
not- sorry, you're not
I have
rolling?
no, because I have
Yeah.
like a negative in that, so
Okay.
it would be bad.
Mhm.
So 1 success. All right. So this one doesn't seem to be quite as like. You almost don't find anything because, unlike the other one, this one isn't as violent as the other one. Almost more as this one was done as as an ambush instead of an assault.
Okay.
You look at the autopsy and like where he was found, where the body was positioned, blah blah blah. You kind of like look around to try and find where it was, and essentially where the body was, because it was found face up, just behind there. He was probably walking from the parking lot around the building, and from what the autopsy report says, it looks like something fell on top of him from up above, so they think someone threw something off the top of the building, which landed on him, and then 2 or 3 people ran over and ripped out his heart, and then took off.
Was
So
the
it's-
object at the crime scene still when the report was taken?
But they didn't find any object.
Oh, they didn't find an object. Okay, I bet it was somebody who jumped off that building.
Yeah,
So-
but you look up. You look up and you see that there isn't like a fire escape, and the apartment itself is about 5 stories high. So
Yeah.
if someone jumped
5 stories down.
Theoretic,
50 meters or so down.
Theor- theoretically, werewolf, supernatural something could potentially jump that far.
Yeah. We
It's
could.
out of the realm of human possibility.
We could. Come on. If you've not seen Assassin's Creed, someone can do this. Hardcore, and I
They
say
could
that
have
as
just
But there
easily
was-
dropped something and then removed it from the crime scene as well.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
just think that it could be a potential body slam. But
we could. I mean, while we're
People's
here, while we're here, we could also investigate the roof.
Yep.
I was thinking the same thing.
And I would even suggest before breaking into the apartment going into the roof, just because, like, again, like, breaking into the apartment could probably cause, and if we get caught doing that, like,
But if someone sees us on the roof, I feel like the same thing would happen.
well, all we have to do is bring up our cigarettes and, like, pretend we belong there. It's easier to pretend that we belong on the roof than it is pretending that we belong inside the dead man's apartment.
So about the stairwell, is there like a? I'm sorry,
Mhm.
I'm getting ahead of myself.
You're
Is
fine.
there a stairwell?
Yes, there would be a fire escape.
Okay.
Right, that leads outside.
Yeah.
Um, is there a handle on this on the outside,
No.
or is it just like a one-way door?
It's a one-way door.
Okay, so we will have to go in the front probably, unless you want me to. Unless somebody's got a crowbar.
I always have a crowbar.
But we're not in your car. I thought we took the Jeep.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean I didn't put a crowbar in the Jeep. And don't take it with me.
So-
I bring my duffel bag with me everywhere I go now.
So I don't have that much athletics, but I'm very dexterous. Could Sam lift JD to a point where between the two of us we could reach the fire escape?
I don't think there is a fire escape.
There is no. I said there's no fire escape,
Oh,
Yeah, there's no fire escape.
which is why they assume that someone jumped. Like,
Yeah. There's the
These-
emergency exit that there's to a
yeah,
stairwell.
there's an internal fire stairwell, right? There's no external fire escape
gotcha. Okay.
Mhm.
Sorry, that was my misunderstanding of what you
No.
said.
because that's why they're assuming somebody threw an object off the roof to hit the guy, not jumped off. Because
Mhm.
if there was a fire escape, they could have just as easily jumped off the fire escape like one story up. And like that's
Right.
more believable.
Yeah.
But like somebody jumping off the fifth story, not buying that.
All right,
And
so
you-
we'll,
And just
Well,
like walk it off.
are there like, is there any security here? Can we just walk into the apartment complex building? Or doorman or anything?
There's no doorman. It is a locked door, but you guys can just like no one really cares. You can just sneak in when someone comes to enter or exit.
Or
Will you
we
hold the
have
door
the
for me?
skeleton. We have the skeleton key. We can walk in like we belong there.
You could just wait for someone to come out and just like walk around and get in. It's not hard.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
that's
just
fine, too.
you
Let's
just do the thing where it's like you're kind of waiting outside, and when somebody like walks out, it's like, oh man, thanks. Like, here's
I left my key card inside.
left my key
Thank
card
you.
inside. Thanks.
Yeah, basically. It's like I left my fob on the counter.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happened like that. Like, yeah. Okay. Like, let's just try and do that before we start breaking into things.
Yeah.
Says the person with the federal crime of having an ID badge.
Shh. Yeah, so we'll go look for the roof first.
Mhm.
Alright, so we're gonna go all the way up to the roof and take a look around. I will stand at the entrance to the roof and just kind of be our bouncer
Mhm.
while you guys investigate.
Okay, cool.
Just checking with Nick between the first floor and the roof if anything happens.
Yeah, and if it's locked, it could be
Mhm.
locked.
So when the police did their investigation, they found that the door, there was a chain on the door that had been broken,
Mhm.
and since then it hasn't been replaced because obviously maintenance is of the utmost importance in a building like this.
Mhm.
So yeah, you just get up to the top and the door is unlocked. It is a fire door, so it closes. It doesn't lock behind itself, but
Mhm.
so you can get up onto it.
Okay.
Could I argue instead
Very
of
cool.
investigation? Could I argue using survival to look around? No. Okay. Just wondering.
We ain't a swamp.
I know.
Yeah,
So we're doing another wits or intelligence investigation.
sure is.
There's 10s today.
I don't have any. No success on my
Cool.
end. Yeah.
So
Unless I could just help JD. No. Okay.
Okay, so with one success, you kind of look across the rooftop of the cruise. You don't really find anything. You don't find like dropped cigarette butts or anything. and you almost give up when you kind of just take a look over the edge of the railing of the rooftop, and you see that there's almost like deep gouge marks into the concrete siding of the roof. Right at the point where directly underneath the victim would have been found.
What do we see?
Scratch marks?
Scratch
Sharp
marks.
scratch marks?
Like gouges into the concrete.
Gouge.
Can JD? I don't know how much JD actually understands about their claws and their fangs, other than they're supernatural and they shouldn't have them. Can they like try to like scrape them, like gouge them into like the brickwork and see what kind of scratches, if any? I know.
Well, you can do it. So you can kind of scratch. It leaves like a little bit of a scratch.
Okay, right.
Because it's not really meant for like tearing through that stuff. They're kind of short. They're meant for catching somebody unawares and just ripping out a chunk.
Right.
But you also notice that and there's 5 gouges into the concrete.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you having your claws augmented into your body between your knuckles, the biology and how it scratches is going to be different than yours. Yeah.
Like, out of character, I understand this. I don't know how much JD actually understands. But they're trying
to figure it out, right.
Right. And so, and to ask a follow-up question, those gouges, you said there were like 5? Would they be like somebody tried, like, are they like in the shape of a hand where somebody was trying to grip into the wall?
They're almost equidistant apart.
Okay.
And it's like, just...
And from here, do they look like they go all the way down, or do they stop after a point?
No, it looks like something just went over the wall and that's it.
Okay. I think that's all we're gonna get from the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My thought is like using the edge of the wall as leverage, like for when it jumped over, and or
perched there and then pounced.
Yeah, or perched, and that's just that's when you move over something, like when you're grabbing onto, like, I don't know, like a car, you're jumping over a car, or when you're whenever you're on a surface and you use that surface to propel yourself forward in any sort of manner, like, imagine if you, I'm not done! Imagine if you were strong enough and big enough and had monstrous claws, and it left the impression just from your normal ability.
Yeah, I got you.
Thank you.
I'm following.
Thank you. That's what my suspicion is in just this moment. It doesn't look like it was attacking the wall, like it is from what Nick is telling us.
Stabilizing.
Yeah.
JD, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, it's like if you've ever watched any parkour video ever, when they're like vaulting over like a wall. That's what I'm imagining, where except for the wall is vertical as opposed to like a horizontal plane.
I'm still not 100% convinced personally that they did not just use this as an anchor so that they could throw something heavy.
Yeah.
Even a safe comes to mind, even though that's kind of cartoony, throwing a safe on someone. I mean, if this person had valuables in their apartment and these people broke into their apartment, they could have taken something and thrown it off the roof from their apartment, the victim's apartment, and thrown it off the roof at the victim. Not saying, I think we should investigate the apartment, and
no,
then
100%.
I'll have a better idea of what happened.
Yeah. I agree.
But let's not rule out anything for right now. But both of those are great ideas. I think jumping. I think the idea that a werewolf could jump off this building is plausible.
Yeah. Or any large supernatural, even a slasher. type creature.
Yeah,
Kind of
yeah.
thing. Anything with claws that was strong enough to leave the impression from just being there is my thought process.
'Twas the Jabberwocky.
All right, apartment time.
What's this hallway looking like with this apartment?
Just your typical cheapo apartment, cheap carpet, stucco walls and ceiling, dim lights. Smells kind of musty. Probably black mold somewhere.
She was a bank teller. I think the first thing I would like to try is picking the lock. I have a skill specialty in lock picking.
Dope. Super cool.
Giver?
So that's larceny, I'm assuming,
Yes.
and dexterity?
Yes.
And then a skill specialty gives me extra dice.
Yes.
How many?
I believe it is. Sorry, give me a second here. I believe it's 2.
Well, I already have 7 dice.
So let me just look at your character sheet real quick here.
I have 3 in larceny, 4 in dexterity. It would just be whatever my bonus.
Yeah, so if you're doing, because it'd be larceny and lockpicking, so yeah, that would be an extra 2 points in larceny.
Oh, cool. So I'll roll my 9 dice. No big deal.
Nice.
I feel like that's a little low, but 4 successes.
There you go.
Yeah, it basically takes you about like 45 seconds to unlock it.
So you just see them pull out a small leather case, and they flip it open, and I'm guessing these are not high security locks. So all they do is take out a rake and rake the pins and manage to just rake the lock open. After probably a couple of tries.
You're too good at that. You see a worried look on my face.
Okay, Dad.
I'm gonna pull out when we get in the apartment, I'm gonna pull out my gun just in case.
Are there teeth fairies in the cupboard?
Yeah, I had bad experience last time I broke into someone's house.
Okay, if you'll allow me just 1 minute, I'm just gonna put some water on to boil for tea, because I need a little bit more caffeine now.
No, you're good. We've been going strong.
Yeah, I'll let this go for a quick bio break for anyone who needs it, and we'll just take like, 2-3 minutes. We'll be right back.
Bang, jilla bang. That.
I have I'm also bioing. I think we're all bioing. I'll be right back. There's a nice big bio break thing on.
watch me try to do this thing that I can't do.
I'm really glad I put that extra point in larceny.
What now?
I said I'm glad I put that extra point in larceny.
Agreed. Yeah, came in handy. I also put a point in occult and got to make an occult roll this game, so.
Well, I thought
Still,
about I was
feel good
this
about that.
close to being like maybe JD during the downtime just hung out with Sam and Ben and read occult books, and I thought about putting 1 or 2 pips in that, but I was like, they're not a bookworm. That would just be me as a player trying to be like, I want to be more involved in the investigation.
It kind of stinks that Eric couldn't make it today. I know he has to work, so it's, he would like to be here, I'm sure. But
Yeah.
because who doesn't want to play games instead of work? But we all have our specialties, and I think that's really
Right.
cool. We're a very balanced party, which is super neat because I play in a lot of games where the party is just like, very leaning in one direction or the other.
I also had this idea for my character that my character had dropped out of school, so for them to all of a sudden be a bookworm just doesn't feel like staying true to the character.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to decide between, something that is really appealing but doesn't fit, or something that fits perfect but isn't as strong.
I mean, in theory, it's not like they can't read. It's not like they couldn't have read books with you guys. It just...
All right. Well, also, like,
Doesn't
a
it-
cult doesn't necessarily have to be books either. Like, it could totally be, like, stories or just, like,
Well, right.
a different religious
But for them
knowledge.
to all of a sudden be interested in it doesn't feel like...
Agreed. Doesn't
Oh,
feel
Ben and Sam have it. Way to go. Good job, guys. I mean, I did take firearms after Eric gave me the gun, but I didn't want to be completely incompetent with the gun, and that's why I took 2 points in it.
Hey, that's cool. It's always good to have, options in combat. You're better at firearms than I am now. I've got 1 firearm and 2 weaponry, 2 brawl.
I have 3 brawl, 3 weaponry, 2 firearms.
But I have 4 athletics, so if I ever got to run away from something, bye-bye.
I can't drive
Alright.
a car to save my life.
Alright, I think we're all back now, Nick, so go ahead and take us away, fam.
Right, perfect. That's helpful. Alright, so
Awesome.
you guys enter the door, and the apartment obviously hasn't been inside since the investigation concluded. So, good 4 or 5 days. It's messy, and you're sure that it's definitely not from the investigation. There's a thick layer of dust covering most of the items. It looks like not much in here has been moved for the last month or 2 months at least. It's just dirty all over the place.
So was this guy like a pack rat, or more of like it's just been lived in?
It looks like someone just suddenly decided to stop cleaning.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's been, like kind of like, if you use a cup, you just put it down on a table and just leave it there.
Yeah.
So there's, like, dirty dishes everywhere. What's up?
Where's the cat?
The cat? Our cat? Or his cat?
His cat. Because you
Our
said,
cat's right
yeah,
here.
because you said that he had a cat,
Yeah.
So, like, has the cat been left there? Like, did someone come get the cat? Like, what's going on?
There's no cat in the apartment
Okay.
that you can find.
Yeah, because if there was a cat that had been along and it was hungry enough, it would have came right away.
Yeah. The whole place just kind of smells funky, though. Like, it's got a weird smelly campfire place.
Is there any, like... I don't know if JD would know this, but I think JD would be like, shouldn't we look for, like, Norse iconography?
That's an excellent idea.
Yeah, bad idea.
I also think that we could look for, or not necessarily look for, but Ben is a little bit knowledgeable in medicine. Do you know of any, like, psychological, is this a symptom, like stopping clean, is, when you just stop cleaning all of a sudden, is that a symptom of some kind of
I have a skill.
psychosis?
I have the skill in academic psychology.
Oh shit, that's really convenient.
Wait a minute.
Like, my minor was in psychology, so...
I think JD is also going to be fairly twitchy and probably keep glancing back at the door because they get the feeling that even though this guy is dead, this might have been lived in. Like, clearly it hasn't been taken care of in 2 weeks. But they get this, like, feeling in the pit of their stomach that, like, someone else might be occupying this place.
Nick, should I roll or should I be like, yo, this dude was depressed as fuck? Like, except Ben wouldn't say fuck. It's like, this guy. This is definitely...
But you don't know if he was suppressed or not.
That is true. Like, that's what Jamie was asking, like, like, is any of this, like, symptoms of any sort of mental psychological disorder?
I will make you roll for it.
Okay. So, I'm assuming...
You can assume he was depressed.
Yes. What am I rolling?
But to know, we need the roll.
Yes.
The roll is the intelligence plus whatever your thing is.
So just intelligence, so my question is, should I be rolling academics on this? Because mine is more textbook knowledge than it is the medical knowledge.
Intelligence plus academics plus 1.
+1. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 dice on that. Okay. Just want to give it a good shake, guys. Okay. So I rolled 9 dice. I have 0 successes.
Jeez Louise.
I didn't roll anything higher than a 6.
How many successes?
None.
None?
I didn't roll higher than a 6.
Out of
Can I have a reroll? Can I use my rerolls? One of my rerolls? Thank you. I would like to reroll, please. Because that is just not cool.
Out of 9?
Okay, exactly. So this is way better with 3.
Well, any success would have been never mind.
Yeah.
Do you know the statistical averages of not rolling this 8, 9, or 10 out of 9 dice?
I know. Like, I didn't roll higher than a 6. I just rolled 3 9s then out of my rerolls. So.
Okay. So originally it does look like, he was definitely suffering from like major depression.
Mm-hmm.
Until you go and look in his bedroom.
Okay.
And you expect to see, a bed that smells terrible because he hasn't washed the sheets in like 2 months or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Except the bedroom is like the one room that seems to be like untouched by all of this.
Huh.
Like the bed is like hasn't been slept in, really.
Like, it hasn't been, like, the bed isn't even touched. It's, like, with the exception of, like, the dust, I'm assuming it's, like, made.
Well, that's the thing. It doesn't have that layer of dust on it.
Oh.
So it hasn't been slept in for about a week, but that's just because the guy's been dead. But other than that, the bed is like made up and everything, and this room is clean. There's no like nothing's like there's no dirty clothes all over the place. The bed's made. It's, but then you're like, maybe he's not depressed because this room seems like. Does he have a roommate?
Are my frissons tingling?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Your what? Your
This is our new code word for what's going on with Ben. Are my frissons tingling? Because
You get the frisson.
I get the frissons. Okay.
You have an inclination that this place might be a good place to look a little bit.
Yeah, I stopped and I was like, we need to look through this. Look, like, I just gesture room, house.
or maybe like besides like the obvious stuff, I would say maybe receipts could give insight into person's behavior.
I
as
was
well.
thinking receipts and looking for his mail.
Mail.
Okay.
Also.
Mm-hmm.
Any documents at all would be good.
All right, so you two can do that. JD, did you want to investigate the room itself?
JD doesn't have a good feeling about this. I guess, what's the layout? Is it like you walk in the door and the kitchen is on one side and the rest of the living space is on the other and there's a hall, or? So
essentially, like, you walk in, directly to your right is like a dining room, which is kind of attached to the kitchen.
Right.
Past that is like a living room. Directly on the left is a bathroom, and then directly ahead is the bedroom.
I think JD is going to stay in an area where they can still keep an eye somewhat on the door.
The deadbolted door. Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Hey man, werewolves don't care about deadbolts.
I was like, I saw the dents in the dumpster. That door ain't nothing. If I could pick it that easily, that door ain't nothing.
Well, it's an internal deadbolt, right? It's not like
Oh, okay.
It wasn't dead bolted when we got in. No one dead bolted it. Is what Nick is saying. It's dead bolted
so there's
from the
probably not.
Yeah, but we can deadbolt it from the inside now that we're inside it.
You can't unlock the deadbolt from the outside.
Yeah.
Right. It's one of those deadbolt locks that only locks from the inside.
The deadbolt wasn't locked. The deadbolt wasn't locked when you picked it.
Yeah, you unlock it through the handle.
Yeah.
There's still about 8 million red. That just throws more red flags for JD. The fact that the deadbolt wasn't. Oh, he left. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm still keeping an eye on the door. I don't trust the situation.
Okay.
All right.
Regardless of if it's whoever attacked the guy or somebody hearing something and alerting someone, I still want to be paying attention to the door.
All right.
But I will go ahead and look in the kitchen for anything that might be useful.
Okay. You can make your investigation roll there. You guys want to make your rolls as well?
Yeah, first place that I would like to check, the places that I would like to check for anything in this room. One, if there's any in like his Chester drawers or his desk that might be in there. If there's any loose like bottoms.
Yeah.
Like that's like the first thing, because if you're gonna put like, if it's not obviously in a safe, then I would assume if you're keeping something secret, that's like places that it would be secret. So just straight up investigation rolls.
Yep. Give me some straight up investigation.
I would like to use willpower for this.
Give me a willpower to add a +3 to it.
Yep. So that I can get 4 on it.
I like to imagine that like Sam is just oblivious to all this criminal activity. He's just like, how do you guys know how to do all this? Like, why?
I
grew up in the suburbs.
I did
I
too.
came from a nice. I used to be respectable.
I stop, like, if you say that out loud, I'm gonna turn and I'm gonna look at you and I'll be like, do you not watch TV?
I mean, I watch TV, but like,
Like, do you not watch Bones, SVU?
he probably does. Actually.
like literally all of my ideas just come from, like, Ben watching a lot of television.
Yeah, he probably watches some crime dramas.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna use a willpower on my room investigation, so that'll be 4. That's 1 success.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, JD, I saw earlier you had 0 successes, so you're just kind of planking around the kitchen
Mm-hmm.
and just finding a lot of really moldy plates.
Yep.
Delicious.
Yep. They probably are more focused on the door than actually. Like,
Yeah. Ben,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of go through like the nightstand and the drawers and everything. Everything there is like very, very organized and neat. There's not really much you can find. Nothing like there's some receipts, but they're all like for like, oh, I got my TV receipt. I have my like DVD, my Blu-ray player receipt. I have like some receipts for furniture I purchased, my car payment receipts, blah 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 blah.
Can I find his bank statement?
No,
Okay.
that's one thing you don't.
Yeah,
find.
bank or credit card statements. Okay.
He's got paperless.
Yeah.
Everybody's got paperless.
Is there a
these days.
computer?
There is not a computer that you can see.
Okay.
You do, however, notice as you're kind of like searching around the nightstand,
Mm-hmm.
you notice some scratches on the headboard.
On his nightstand? Are they
As you're searching the
yeah.
headstand, you kind of see lowered, like almost between where the bed meets the headstand, you can see some scratches in the wood.
Okay. I'm having just that professional storyteller in me. I'm gonna look. How do these scratches look? Are they look like they're made with human nails, or are they similar to the scratches from the rooftop?
They look more like human nails from what you can see, but you can only see like a little piece of it from where you.
Yeah. Is there what I want to know with the scratches, I know I'm seeing a little bit. Does the start of the scratch seem like it's thinner than the end, like less human? Does the start of the scratch look more human than the end of the scratch? That's my question.
You can see a little piece of scratch from where you're at. That's it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm saying that's all you can see from where you're at. The rest of it is hidden, like, behind the mattress. So.
Okay, well, I want to go look, Nick. I'm obviously going look. That's why I'm asking the question.
You didn't say anything
God.
about it.
I'll help him move the bed if I need to.
Yeah.
You
I'm
probably,
going look and investigate the scratch now that I've seen it to look at this.
Well, I don't know what to tell me. You and Sam both pull the mattress and pull across the clothes, and it looks like it was scratching with fingernails.
Mm-hmm.
Some sort of strange runic style script. It's definitely not. Definitely not Norse, because you know a little bit of like Norse runic script. This is similar, but like completely different.
As me and Sam move this and see this and notice that it's runes and stuff, as the religion occult bros, I just hold up my fist for a bump. Like, it's like, sweet.
Do a not looking at it fist bump.
Fist bump. Like,
do you guys want to roll me? Actually, you know what? You went to the seminary.
I have academics religion as a skill specialty.
Mine is occult Santeria.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's JD.
It's okay, JD. You got us inside. It's fine.
You wouldn't be here.
Just your cute little street crime kid.
What's the
You
song?
you recognize. You kind of recognize what it is, though.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a Nokian,
Enochian?
but it's like Enochian mixed with like Norse, mixed with something else.
Okay.
Is that like some kind of indigenous peoples?
No, Enochian is celestial, essentially.
Oh, like the Anunnaki?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna like as soon
It's Enochian, but it's not.
yeah, it's
It's a mixture.
It's a
right?
mixture of like Norse runes and Enochian and stuff like that. Okay.
I want to take. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Making like actually like looking at it, like seeing the full thing and reading it makes you feel physically nauseous.
Okay.
Gross.
What does it
If
say?
I may,
Yes.
what does it say?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. And I want to know what it say because I'm reading it.
No, you can't read it.
Oh, I can't read it because trying
just-
to makes me look nauseous.
Like,
Okay.
Well, we can't interpret it.
You
Like,
can't.
we can
Yeah,
look at it.
you can't.
We just don't understand it.
Yeah, you don't understand it. You can read it, but you
Okay.
can't understand it. You have no idea what it says. And the act of like trying to read it makes you feel physically like nauseous, makes your head hurt, your eyes kind of swim.
I want to take out. So what I want to do is take out a piece of paper and either a pen or pencil or a marker or something, and
Okay.
make a rubbing of it.
Yeah.
You know, so that I have a copy of it on a piece of paper, and put that shit away as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So when you do that, you make the rubbing, and when you take the paper away, like the pencil lead, kind of like almost before your eyes like closes in on the gaps.
Oh, okay, so it just like smudges itself.
Yeah, it smudges itself shut to just look like nothing.
Weird.
So, what I would like to do, since that failed, is I would also like to, and I'm assuming it's just like a legal pad or whatever,
Yeah.
because I have my Ademic memory as one of my merits,
Yes.
I would like to, because I've looked at it, and even though I haven't tried to read it, I have a photographic memory.
Yes.
I would like to write it down on a piece of paper using that. What
Okay.
happens?
Okay. So you write it down.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to make me a roll, please.
Okay.
You need to make me a resolve.
Okay.
Go have to put you down.
A resolve occult.
Resolve occult. I'm pretty good at both of these things. That's at least 6.
Turn to a werewolf.
Yeah.
I'm getting you.
I'm already turning into something. Let's be real here. Okay. 6. I have 6 because I have 3 in resolve and 3 in occult. Yeah. And I get anything with my merit? Okay. Alright, it's at least 1, because that was a 10. And now it's 2.
2?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so your hand actually like starts to hurt as you write it down.
Uh-huh.
To the point like by the time you're finished, it's like physically burnt. It feels like it's burning.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of stop and shake it out, and like without warning, your hand comes and just smacks you in the face.
You just wrote a spell.
Like you just take one bludgeoning damage from that. Like you just like you slap yourself so hard in the face, like your eyes swim. You're just like, ow!
So 1 bashing damage.
Bashing damage.
That good, huh?
I'm pretty sure at like hearing
You hear that slap from the kitchen.
Yeah.
yeah, and hearing Ben like scream, I think JD probably comes running.
You hear me? This is very much that you. This is what you hear is that I'm writing and I'm like, shut the front door.
I didn't scream. It was a shout, a manly shout of surprise.
Would you keep it down in here? Like, come on, what's going on?
I look over you and I don't with my burning hand, like not happy.
My burned friend, shining finger. Sorry, I'll stop the government references.
Yeah. And I'm just sort of like, yeah, like, shit's,
Wow.
this is really deep. And I'm like, and I tell JD, don't read the runes on the board. I just
What
need you,
runes?
just listen, don't. I'm gonna hold up the paper. I was like, don't look directly at this. Take a picture of it and send it to Network Zero.
Might not
Don't
work
look
like
at, yes.
How can I take a picture if I'm not supposed to look at it?
You know the direction.
But how do I know to? Never mind.
Okay, this is actually what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn the paper around, square it off for the
Okay,
photograph,
I've
and
got
I
it.
will flip it. Okay, and I'll tell
Okay.
you when. When.
Uh-huh.
When.
Okay, I took a
Send.
picture.
No,
Can I
don't-
look now?
Don't look at the picture. Just send it.
I wonder if it works though. I might just get a picture of a blank piece of paper.
Well,
That's what
they,
That's what I want to know. Like,
Oh, okay.
They send it.
okay.
Well, you get a question back where, like, just like a question mark.
Apparently, this caused Ben to slap himself. Is there any writing on this piece of paper? That's what we really want to know.
And then, like, we can't tell.
What do you mean you can't tell?
It's like, dude, just look at the picture.
I was told explicitly.
Okay,
not-
okay, it's fine. Look at the picture now.
Okay,
Yeah.
I pull up the picture.
It is
Yeah.
completely out of focus.
Uh,
Like, it looks like someone had their finger, like, right in front of the camera lens, and then you have to plug it way back here.
Okay.
You know
Time
what?
out.
Screw it. I'm just gonna look at it. and
No,
take another-
JD, hold the paper. I'll do it. Give me your phone. I'm gonna get the phone, text the message ready, and because I've already kind of like felt what this feels like, I'm just protecting you from bad things. Okay, I don't mind if they happen to me. I'm.
That's just not how this relationship. Fine.
It's working today like this, and I'm going to focus the picture, get through the nausea, and focus the picture on these runes to take it to send to Network Zero.
Right? You take the picture,
Mm-hmm.
you check it before you send it. It's completely out of focus.
So we can't send it. You can't copy it.
oh, man, we could stake this place out, see if anybody comes back.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, this could have been here for a while. Do we? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think JD wants to look at it. Are there like? Did any of you look closely at it to see if there were splinters coming out of it?
It's looking at the direct runes, and I'm gonna explain like the feeling that I got over. Like it makes you physically ill, so it's actually really hard to investigate. Which is why I was able to, and I explained to JD also what Sam did, and it's like pointed out, it's like we tried to, and it rubbed out. The only thing that worked was me writing it down from memory. It's the only way we could have copied it. And I'm thinking to myself, it's like, ask Network Zero if there's a P.O. box.
Did take the headboard with us.
Take the headboard with us.
Well, out of character, totally had that idea myself.
Mhm.
So JD will pop out their phone again and text. We have some runes that made Ben physically nauseous while copying them. We
And
tried
it
to
made me slap myself.
well, I already told them that part.
Tell them that they're Enochian and Nordic.
Yep. And all of that goes into a text message. We can't take a picture of it. We can't take a rubbing of it. Ben physically slapped himself when we wrote it. Any ideas of what this could be?
Like,
It's a spell.
he's like, not really. Sounds weird. Maybe some kind of spirit language. Check with the librarian.
Which
Spirit
was what?
language, you say.
Which was going to be my next suggestion, was to take it to the librarian. So apparently I'm a member of Network Zero and I don't realize it yet.
He's pretty mad at us, I think, because we lost the last thing he gave us. We lost it, even though he explicitly told us not to. It was like the journal of some,
He really
12th century
proves
monk.
it. It was taken from you by
It was
force.
stolen, yeah.
Maybe he'll see it that way.
And also, didn't you say you'd recopy it down?
I did.
We did copy most of it, but we lost the original.
Mhm.
But Ben has eidetic memory, so he could have literally just recopied the entire book.
Excellent.
So he's probably still mad because he lost the original, but he still has all the information. So it's kind of like, hey, I got you. I lost that first edition Joy of Cooking book you gave me, but I got you the new edition. I'd be like, yeah, that's cool.
This is the King James version.
It's like saying that somebody took your Black Label Final Fantasy VII, borrowed it and broke it, but replaced it with the green label, the Greatest Hits label.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, wow.
that. I'm not talking from personal experience whatsoever.
I feel like you are. Glad I'm not the friend who did that to you.
Oh, that was out of character.
I know. And my comment back to you was also out of
Okay.
character.
Okay.
Well,
This is a lot to take in.
I think the librarian is where we should go, but what time of day is it? If we were at the bar earlier, it's got to be pretty late.
It's probably like,
Or it's probably later in the evening.
yeah, probably around 7 o'clock at night.
Do we know when the library closes? Or know when the librarian is in his special collection?
Usually there until about 10 p.m.
Okay.
Cool. I think we should go now. Before more people get their chests splayed open and their hearts ripped out and their lungs ripped out.
That's. I'm not opposed. Not
Alright.
opposed.
I'm with you guys.
So if you guys have nothing else to do here,
I mean, if there's nothing under the bed or in the closets, and if we can't find his credit card statements, then yeah, that's all I wanted.
yeah, you guys never did find the cat though.
No, we never did find the cat. Should we specifically be looking for the cat? We have 10 minutes. Can we look for the cat?
Does he have a computer?
No,
No, we didn't find a
you
computer.
didn't find it. He probably had a MacBook, but you think the police probably took it for evidence.
Same
I
thing
was
with like his cell phone.
sometimes people leave their passwords logged into their computer, and in their password is password 123.
Especially with MacBooks. I will text Eric about the possibility if any of his devices or mail were taken from his apartment for evidence, like either his computer or his cell phone or anything like that, to look into later. And letting him know that, by the way, we're going to the library.
Okay.
Okay.
So, do you guys want to take a quick look for the cat, or just straight to the library?
Let's take a quick look for the cat.
Let's do it!
I'll pull up the couch and look under the furniture. And
Just
do all the
y'all
things
can
you
each
do when
just
you're looking
roll
for a
me
dead
quick.
cat.
Y'all just quickly roll me a quick 2d10.
2d10 each.
2d10 each.
1 success.
Okay.
2 successes. He's gonna tell us there isn't a freaking cat and we're going on a wild cat chase.
I did it, but you
So, Ben, you kind of take the bedroom, you look around, you look in all the closets and everything, you don't find anything. Sam, you take like the bathroom and living room, just no trace of anything. JD, you actually like search the kitchen properly this time, even though it's super gross. And like just for the hell of it, you look in the oven. You wish you didn't do that.
Oh no! I think JD is not often one to let their emotions go, but I think you hear just a probably not blood curdling, but like one of those screams or maybe a gasp where you don't know how they're inhaling as much air as they're inhaling.
Yeah,
And it goes.
There's a small animal in like a roasting pan, like half eaten. Yeah.
I'm getting those dang vampires.
So that would be a
Werewolves.
definite sign of some kind of psychological
I'm gonna, as like this happens, the last thing I would like to do, this small animal, and you know, I'm gonna disgustingly do it. I'm gonna kind of just put JD aside to protect them and kind of pull out the pan and use like a wooden spoon or whatever. Is the heart in this cat?
It looked like it had been gutted before roasting, so.
Okay.
Ah.
I'm going to push it back, close the oven. You know, I don't say this very often, guys. But that's fucked up.
Whoa, Ben!
I'm gonna roll my eyes and be like, okay, we just saw like 3 corpses, and now this cat is what's.
Oh wait, we're not even talking. You're not even counting in the slasher victims.
I know.
I'm just
At
kidding.
this
Really,
point,
animals are
the
different.
point. This is
This
Ben's
is a bridge too far right here.
Yeah.
Cross the line.
Like,
Babies are fine. Elderly people, fine. Crippled people, fine. Cats are off the table.
Where is Ruby? She is off the table.
but yeah.
All right. Well,
Alright, well,
that's a
down the
great
back.
note to end it on.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Shall we go to the library?
We should have just left for the library.
I know.
That's one, I'm thinking Panda Express, maybe. What do you guys think?
Yeah. With that being said, it is 5 minutes to 1, Nick, so I think we should probably wrap up.
Oh yeah. You know what? We probably should. Okay, I forgot you have work, Jenny. Alright, so,
I'm off today, so that's
Oh,
okay, well, I have work today, surprisingly. Called me in. Alright, so, but we are gonna wrap up on our scheduled time here. I would like to take a quick nap and then do some stuff for work. So we will end it off with you guys piling back into the Ran Heroke and heading off to the library.
Alright.
And that's where we will cut it today. You all have made excellent work on your investigations. I'm super impressed with everyone. So I am going to assign all of you 6 XP.
Nice. Alright. Cool. Thank you. Alright then. Thank you guys very much for joining us for Miami Bite. You can catch us again in 2 weeks, right, Nick? That's what the calendar says. You have my calendar.
Sure is. On the
2 weeks on here. You can catch us back in 2 weeks. Hopefully the entire cast will be back. With that, other things we got going on the channel for this week. Thursday night, you can catch us for Shadow over in Dallas, which will be the last episode of that game before we go on vacation. And then the last episode of Dragonstone on Sunday, where you can see 3 of our faces again before vacation as well. And hopefully between now and then, you're going to see my face here playing some video games and things like that. But yeah, that's what we have going on the channel this week. Don't forget to donate to Extra Life. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel because the subs points do get matched. I think we're at 10 for the month of September right now. So that's cool. And with that, Jim Jams, where can we find you on the internet and all of the good things?
I'll be here for Dragonstone, like you said. Other than that, props to everybody. We did an awesome job today, especially our storyteller. So,
Yes, absolutely. Cool. All right,
that's
then.
me.
Theater Nerd.
Hi. Every other week, opposite this game, roughly the same time, I am on a Unknown Armies game, or in a Unknown Armies game on Welcome to the Party, where I play a character that's a lot like JD in a lot of ways, only slightly older. But that's more of the horror similar vein game as this. Also, if you follow me on Twitter or want to get involved in games yourself, I'm doing a bunch of one-shots for a podcast that we started recording the first episode, and then life happened to one of my players, and we had to stop last night. But it's an audio-only podcast. The pinned tweet on my profile is a form on how you can get involved. Those were the words I wanted to say. Otherwise, you can find me at Theater Nerd 221 on everything else. And that's the best way to keep track of what I have going on.
Right. Excellent. And Nick.
Alright, hey. Slowpool here. I had a great time storytelling today. There was a lot of investigation going on. You guys did so good with it. You're getting really good at this now. On your third kind of
Adventure.
playthrough. Yeah, your third playthrough. Starting to really get into the hang of things. You guys are doing your best, even though you're short. You're like main crime scene investigator, and that's really what you want to focus on. You guys still did really good on your own. I'm super impressed. You can find me here every other Monday. We have one more game until our short vacation hiatus, so the next one will be on the 30th. I'm just checking the calendar here. Yeah, 30th, and then the last one on the 28th, I believe?
Of October. Yeah.
Yeah, of October. I'm also on Dragonstone on the Sunday. Sometimes I show up on Val's channel and I play video games.
Or scare me.
Or scare you. Mostly just scare you. Yeah, that's me.
Alright, thank you guys. Have a great time. We're gonna go and bring you over to Straticus, who's also playing some tabletop games. I'm not sure which one, but we'll see.